You've seen the videos. The ones that promise you'll make thousands a month with some simple side hustle that takes like zero time. But how many of them are actually legit? I was so tired of the clickbait and the crazy promises, I decided to cut through the noise and test the most popular side hustles of 2025 myself. For the last 30 days, I've been a delivery driver, a freelance writer, a digital product creator, and a pet sitter. I tracked every single minute and every single dollar. In this video, I'm giving you the real, no-fluff breakdown of how much I actually earned, how many hours I worked, and which of these are genuinely worth your time. So, here was the plan for my ultimate side hustle experiment. Test 4 of the most hyped-up gigs and see if a normal person can actually make decent money. I picked a mix of online and real-world jobs to figure out where the best opportunities are in 2025. I really wanted to answer 2 questions. How much can you honestly make in your first month? And which hustles give you the best bang for your buck or your time? And I didn't just want a gross income. I wanted the real number. That means subtracting all the annoying expenses, the platform fees, and all the unpaid time I spend just trying to find work. This is the truth about what it takes to get started and what you can actually expect to see in your bank account. Let's get into it. 1. The gig worker, food delivery. First up, the one you see everywhere, food delivery. I signed up for Uber Eats and DoorDash, the 2 heavyweights. The pitch is super tempting. Be your own boss, work when you want, and start making money right away. My experience. To give it a fair shot, I stuck to the peak hours. Lunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and dinner from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. The process itself is simple enough. Turn on the app, accept an order, drive to the restaurant, grab the food, and drop it off. Sounds easy, right? But it's a constant battle against traffic, hunting for parking, and trying to navigate apartment buildings that feel like they were designed to be mazes. Over the month, I clocked 40 hours of active delivery time. But that doesn't count the 10 hours I spent just sitting in my car, waiting for a good order to pop up. That's a huge chunk of time people forget about. The results. My total earnings from all deliveries, tips included, came out to $820. On paper, that seems fine. It works out to about $20.50 per hour of active driving. But that's not the real story. Expenses. I drove 500 miles. Between gas and the wear and tear on my car, I estimated my vehicle expenses at around $150 for the month. Net profit. So after you pull out the expenses, my take-home pay was $670. The real hourly wage. Now, here's the kicker. When you add those 10 hours of unpaid waiting time, my total time investment was 50 hours. That drops my real hourly wage to just $13.40 an hour. That's a lot less appealing than the $20 plus figure you always hear about. Pros. The flexibility is legit. You can work whenever you feel like it, and the money hits your account fast. It's perfect if you need cash in a pinch. Cons. The pay is all over the place. 1 hour you might rake in $30. The next you might make $8. You're at the mercy of tips, and the cost of running your car is a real, sneaky expense. Worth it. Verdict. Yes, but only if you need money right now. If you have a bill due Friday, food delivery is a reliable way to get it paid. But as a long-term, scalable side gig, that low hourly wage and the hidden costs make it a tough sell compared to the other options. 2. The online professional, freelance writing. Next, I dove into the world of online freelancing. With my laptop and a decent handle on writing, I jumped onto Upwork to look for freelance writing jobs. The potential here is massive. Some writers make hundreds per article. My experience. Okay, this was a grind at first. The first 2 weeks were rough. I probably spent 15 hours just building a solid profile, hunting for jobs, and writing custom proposals. I sent out over 30 proposals and only got 3 replies. It was pretty discouraging. The competition on these platforms is no joke, and a lot of clients are just looking for the cheapest option. But then, I got a breakthrough in week 3. I landed a small $50 blog post gig. I worked my tail off on it, and the client left an amazing 5-star review. That one review changed everything. Suddenly, my proposals were actually getting noticed. I landed 2 more clients, one for 5 articles at $100 a pop, and another for website copy for a flat $300. The results. My total earnings from writing came to $850. Time invested. I spent about 20 hours actually writing and editing for the paid jobs. But, and this is important, I spent another 20 hours on unpaid work, finding the jobs, writing proposals, and talking to clients. Net profit. My only expense was a coffee I bought for a change of scenery. So let's call the net profit $845. The real hourly wage. With 40 hours of total time invested, my effective hourly wage was $21.13. Pros and cons. Pros. The income ceiling is way higher than gig work. You can work from anywhere, and once you build a good reputation, you can start charging a lot more. Cons. Getting started is a beast. Finding that first client is the biggest hurdle. The work isn't always steady, and especially in the beginning, you feel like you're constantly hunting for the next gig. Worth it. Verdict. 1,000 times yes, if you have a skill and some patience. That initial struggle is real, but the potential for high, location-independent income is huge. The hourly rate was the highest of my experiment, and it's a skill that just gets more valuable over time. 3. The passive income dream. Selling digital products. For my third hustle, I chased the holy grail, passive income. I set up an Etsy shop to create and sell digital products. The dream is you create it once, and then sell it forever without worrying about inventory or shipping. I decided to design some minimalist digital planners and resume templates. My experience. This hustle was all about upfront effort. I spent a solid 25 hours in the first week just designing everything in Canva. Then, I spent another 10 hours setting up my Etsy shop, writing listings with good SEO keywords, and making a few pins for Pinterest to promote them. After that big push, the work dropped off to almost nothing, just checking for sales and answering a rare customer question. For the first 2 weeks, crickets. A few views, a couple of favorites, but zero sales. I was so close to calling it a bust. Then, halfway through week 3, my phone buzzed. My first sale. It was for a $7 resume template. Honestly, it was the most exciting $7 I've ever made because I earned it while I was out having dinner. By the end of the month, a few more sales trickled in. The results. My total revenue from Etsy was $145. Expenses. Etsy's fees for listing, transactions, and payment processing ate up about 15% of that, which came to $21.75. Net profit. My final profit was $123.25. The real hourly wage. I put in 35 hours up front. For this first month, that means my effective hourly wage was a painful $3.52. Pros. It really is passive once the work is done. The potential to scale is insane. The effort to sell one is the same as selling 1,000. It's a fun, creative outlet that can turn into a real asset. Cons. The income is incredibly slow to start and is never a guarantee. You need a good eye for design and trends to make stuff people actually want. Your success really hinges on your marketing and SEO skills. Worth it. Verdict. Yes, but think of it as a long-term project, not a get-rich-quick scheme. The hourly wage in month 1 is awful, but you're making an investment. That $123 could become $123 every single month, and then grow from there with almost no extra work. This is the definition of playing the long game. 4. The fun gig, pet sitting and dog walking. For my last hustle, I decided to turn something I love into a way to make money by signing up for Rover. I'm a huge animal lover, so this one felt less like work and more like a bonus. My experience. I set up my profile offering dog walking and weekend house sitting. The secret here was getting that first review. I set a lower introductory price to land my first client, which was a weekend house-sitting gig for 2 cats. It was super chill and a lot of fun. Once that positive review was up, the requests started coming more regularly. Over the month, I did 2 weekend house sits and 10 30-minute dog walks. The work was basically playing with dogs, feeding cats, and sending cute photo updates to their owners. It's a tough life. The results. My total earnings from Rover were $550. Expenses. Rover takes a 20% service fee, which was $110. Net profit. My take-home pay came to $440. The real hourly wage. The dog walks took about 5 hours total. The house sitting was 2 full weekends, but let's be real, the active work time was pretty minimal, maybe an hour or two a day. I tracked it closely and estimated I invested about 25 hours of active work or being on call. This gives me a real hourly wage of $17.60. Pros and cons. Pros. If you love animals, it's genuinely fun. The hourly pay is surprisingly great for how enjoyable the work is. You set your own rates and schedule. Cons. Your income is tied to your location and your availability. And it comes with a huge amount of responsibility. You're taking care of someone's family member. It's also not as scalable as an online business. Worth it? Verdict. A huge yes, especially if you're an animal lover. For the fun factor and the solid return on my time, this was a fantastic gig. It's the perfect side hustle for someone who wants a low-stress way to make a few hundred extra bucks a month. The final tally. So, after 1 month of hustling my heart out, what did the final numbers look like? Freelance writing. $845 net profit / 40 hours equals $21.13 per hour. Pet sitting. $440 net profit / 25 hours equals $17.60 per hour. Food delivery. $670 net profit / 50 hours equals $13.40 per hour. Digital products. $123.25 net profit / 35 hours equals $3.52 per hour for now. Total net profit for the month, $2,078.25. Now, I have to be clear, making over $2,000 in a month is awesome, but it's definitely not typical. Most people with a side hustle earn $500 or less a month, so these results are on the high end. But it proves what's possible. Ranking them from best to worst based on my experience and hourly wage. 1. Freelance writing. The clear winner with the highest hourly pay and biggest long-term potential. 2. Pet sitting, a fantastic and fun runner-up with a very solid hourly wage. 3. Food delivery, best for quick cash, but the lowest paying of the active hustles. 4. Digital products, a long-term investment that's just getting started. So, what's the big takeaway from my 30-day experiment? First, making an extra $2,000 in a month is 100% possible, but there is no such thing as easy money. Every dollar was earned with time, effort, or skill. Second, the best side hustle really depends on what you want. Need cash by the weekend? Get in your car and deliver food. Want to build a high-income skill you can do from anywhere? Start freelance writing. Love pets and want a fun, high-paying gig? Look into pet sitting. And if you have the patience to build something that could pay you while you sleep, start creating those digital products now. The most important thing is to just start. Pick one that actually sounds interesting to you and give a real shot. What's your experience been with side hustles? Drop a comment below and let me know what's worked for you and what's been a total bust. I read every single one. And if you found this no-nonsense breakdown helpful, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button for more real-world tests to help you make and save more money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.